Okay. Okay. I was like, is that loading? Damn. Is that what yeah. I did. Thank you, Christina. I did get it. Hello, hello. Getting started this morning. Good morning, good afternoon. Getting our day going, guys. Let's do the good things, okay? As we're coming in on TikTok, I would appreciate it. Start tapping that screen. Disappointing raid. Why is it disappointing? Because y'all were talking to that fuckwit for too long. If you're over there on, oh, thank you for the raid, Olive, over there on Twitch. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're on YouTube, can you hit that thumbs up button for me? I would appreciate it as we get started today. Because Sunkiss turned MAGA. I mean, she's just fucking around. I get it. I just don't have the fucking patience for that shit today. I just don't. Give me the fucking source. Let's get it going. I'm not in the fucking mood. I'm so done with these people. Just prove the fucking shit you believe. That's like all I care about. Upkiss raid. Yeah. Got a bunch of different raid names coming in. I'm very confused. We love En Vogue. All right. Good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here today. It is Thursday. I'm doing laundry. It's Thursday. So guys, make sure we are doing all of the good things, please. I would appreciate it. Let's keep tapping that screen over here on oh my gosh. What is that? Oh my god, that was cute. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. Let's tap that screen. Let's share the live out. If you share the live, you can repost it. You can add it to your story. You can share it to like 5 of your friends. I would appreciate that so much. Do your daily heart me if you have not done so. Guys, if you do your daily heart me, you get access to the stickers that I have. Most of them are my face. But you get access to those stickers that you can put in the chat. Super fun stuff. We have the roses goal. Let's try to get looks like Shauna just did it. Thank you. W's to Shauna for completing that rose goal, and I can get it to a different 1 coin gift. Thank you so much, Shauna. We can get that going. Yes. Oh, I need to add. I keep forgetting, Peter. I need to add Nick Shirley. I have the sticker in my Discord that I made of Nick Shirley's face. I need to add that one in there with Erica Kirk. They can spend time together. Do your daily heart me if you have not done so. What's all the other stuff I gotta say? I have 50 in my goal. I usually have 100, but Chicky, W's to Chicky, said let's get this pretzel started. And so we are down to 50 today. So that is the goal we need to accomplish, guys. If you would like to help out with that, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I pay my bills. I'm literally going to use that 50 today and pay Excel. I would appreciate it. I have the link tree in my bio on all the platforms. You can do Cash App, Venmo, PayPal in order to pay me. And guys, do remember that that does pay me more directly than what YouTube takes. And what TikTok takes. But even in that case, I have a gift gallery. If we could try to get that accomplished this week, that would be fucking awesome. I would appreciate it. Over there on YouTube, you can send me super chats in case the live chat gets too busy and I can't keep up. It's much easier for me to see your comments, whether you like me or hate me, whatever. And over there on Twitch, hello, I see you all. That's usually the commerce space. There's usually only one op that likes to go in there. But you guys have access to stickers if you subscribe. And don't forget, if you pay for Prime, you get 1 free Prime sub every single month to a creator of your choosing over on Twitch. Maybe it could be me. So yeah, we will get started. Let me replace this real quick. And then we can get going here today.
I was trying to send people your way.
But I had music going and stuff, and I didn't want to.
Oh, I already, by the time I send people over to you through the Tube or the Twitch, I turn that off.
No, it's not bad. I wouldn't be able to like hear you talking when I got like music going on in the background like that. That's why.
I was like, is she breaking up?
No, but I did need to. Not only did I need to leave because starting work myself, I needed to leave that fucking space. I can't deal with that.
That's fair. It was fun.
Huh?
I said it was fun though.
Yeah, I don't like LARPing, but it's just not my thing. Okay, so I need to save that, not necessarily for today, but I do need to save it, which I will say thank you, Tiffany, for putting that in the current news chat that the DNC finally released their fucking autopsy. So stupid. The one they didn't have or weren't gonna release or whatever, now they have it. It's dumb. Okay, well, I guess this, and then we'll get started here. John, how are you today?
I'm doing better than you.
Okay. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for, please?
I'm 22. I'm from Oregon. I'm voting for Trump.
You're from where, I'm sorry?
Oregon.
Oregon?
Yeah.
Okay, just needed to double check. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because he's trying to fix our country.
He's fixing our country how?
We need getting illegal immigrants in our country.
How is that good for our country?
Because they're here illegal.
What's the law?
Take us all our thing. You got Democrats who want to give them money for bullshit.
What's the law that makes it illegal?
Huh?
What's the law that makes it illegal?
So it literally says illegal immigrant in their name. Hence
the government. That's just what people say. That's not what the government says. So what makes it illegal? What they're doing?
Because they come across the border illegally.
Based on what law?
Based on, we as citizens come here, woman. You don't know shit about that, huh?
Do you know what Title 8 is? Okay, that's our immigration law. So depending on
Okay, whatever. I don't give a shit.
you should though, because then how can you say that they're coming over here illegally? And again, what's the benefit of getting them out?
You make sure they're not doing horrible things to our citizens over here. You see on the news all the time they murder this person, do
Did you know
this
that
person.
they do? Some of them do. But did you
Yeah,
know
they
that?
do.
Did you know that they commit 60% less violent crime than U.S. citizens do per capita?
It's not bullshit.
It's not. The Cato Institute did a study on it, and per capita, they commit 60% less violent crime than U.S. citizens do.
Okay, you can believe whatever little funniness and fur.
Why do you believe what you believe? What basis are you getting
Because I
that from?
get, hold on, to do my research, my information
So
on.
can you show me research? Maybe I haven't seen this. So can you show me statistics of immigrants committing more crime per capita?
My toilet is flooding right now.
I know, sweetheart. It's tough. You should probably handle
What
that.
the? Oh yeah.
Yep, you should probably handle that, sweetheart. For all of you saying he's playing and stuff, do you think I don't know that? I'm just not gonna yell and scream. It's fucking Thursday. I can't. Anyway, let's get started today, shall we? Oh, we've got people trying to call already. But make sure we're doing all the good things while we're sitting here, please. I would appreciate it very much. Because Democrat cities turn to shit. Interesting. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Hey, what's up? This is Randall, 33, and, 32 and a half, and Donald Trump, of course.
And what state did you vote in?
New York. I called Jar of Olives, and apparently there's some prejudice against New Yorkers. As soon as I said New York, they hung up. So
No,
yeah.
there was a New Yorker on the panel who didn't want to listen to your voice. But why are you still supporting Trump?
I mean, he does great things for the New Yorkers, especially, you know.
Sure, can you name one thing and we can talk about it?
So he deported the illegal immigrants.
Did he?
Yeah, he took all the particularly Venezuelans out of Queens.
And that's good for Americans. Why?
Because they was committing all types of violent crimes and robberies, drug rings.
Did they commit more than U.S.
theft.
citizens do per capita?
No, about the same.
Sure.
But one pays taxes and the other don't.
Ooh, if they work, they pay taxes.
But you know what I mean, though.
No, I don't, because if they work, they pay taxes.
But they work illegally off the books. How can they work if illegally?
Not if you're talking about the Venezuelans who were in New York specifically, no, because they actually had TPS because of asylum.
I'm not pointing the finger at just the Venezuelans.
But that's who you brought up. So then we're talking about invisible boogeymen. Nope. Then we're talking. Nope. Nope. Then we're talking about invisible boogeymen we can't see. You know everybody's status when you look at them?
I mean, if they're living on the street, getting benefits, and they don't speak English.
What benefits are they getting?
The country just. What do you mean? They get food stamps,
no, they don't.
cell phones.
Nope. Illegal immigrants do not get food stamps.
In New York, they do.
No, they do not, because that is a federally funded program, so New York cannot do that.
That is impossible.
It's impossible?
Yeah.
So prove to me, show me, I want to see a New York website that says that illegal immigrants can get nutritional assistance. I would love to see that.
Can you give me 1 second if I could cite my source?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. One moment, please.
Guys, while we're sitting here, make sure we're tapping that screen, sharing the live out over there on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button for me. I would appreciate it very, very much. Chelsea, the reason I use the term they use is because I'm not going to argue over it.
So this is what's going on. So illegal immigrants aren't directly eligible, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Aren't directly eligible. However, undocumented parents can apply for EBT on behalf of their eligible U.S. citizen child.
Right. So that money is for their children. You don't want children to eat?
No. I'm all for everybody, and it's just got to be done the right way.
And it is. So it is. I was correct. Illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants do not get nutritional benefits, but their children who were born here do. So U.S. citizens get SNAP. I'm shocked.
So they was coming over here by the boatload, right? They was basically like the men on the left and the woman on the right, right? And it was like, hey, you want to have a baby?
No.
Everybody got each other pregnant.
No.
They was spreading like rabbits.
No.
Like rabbits.
You can keep saying that it's not true. You saw them having sex. Wait. You saw them. Hold on. You saw them in their bedroom have the conversation before they had sex where they said, we are going to have a U.S. citizen so we can get SNAP.
I mean,
you saw that happen with your eyeballs.
That far after I saw they were pregnant, I speculated.
And you knew their immigration status how?
Like the Virgin Mary.
You knew their immigration status how?
Because they brand new to the country.
How did you know that?
Because they don't speak English.
That doesn't mean they're brand new to the country. There are people who've been here for... Melania doesn't fucking speak English. Have you heard Melania speak? That bitch can barely speak English, and she's been here for decades.
Deported too.
Okay, cool. Get her out of here, especially because she violated the law. You do not know their status. You do not know. 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 You do not know if they have a visa. You do not know if they have asylum. You do not know if they have refugee status. You do not know if they have TPS status. You know nothing about these people. You are making assumptions. You, by the way, as a New Yorker yourself, barely fucking speak English.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I seen it with my eyes. What are you talking about?
So now you're being racist towards my dialect.
I can't be racist to a New Yorker.
So I mean, what's going on over here? I'm Arab too.
I didn't say anything about you being Arabic.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Did
you
I?
think I'm a white guy that's rich and whatever.
No, I didn't say any of that. I said, if you're going to base your beliefs off of people speaking or not speaking English, you should probably fix your fucking accent.
I mean, that's... Okay, all right. So you're right about that. I mean, so the way it's coming out of my mouth, just because I don't have any sources right now and I'm based off of emotions, obviously.
Yes, that's a problem.
Wrong. So
that's a problem. You should read about things.
But the facts don't lie.
You literally don't have any facts. You said it's a fact that they are receiving SNAP. Hold on. And then you had to look it up on the fly right here on my show to prove that I was correct that they don't get SNAP. Their children, who may be U.S. citizens, do. You had to look that up on the fly. So there are no facts. You don't have any.
They had children while they conceived the child while
they did.
Came here.
And again, you don't know the parent. It's not illegal to have a child here. That's not a law. It's not illegal to have a child here.
But for the
you do not know. It's not. For the purpose, you would have to prove to me that a majority of illegal immigrants come over here and have children with that purpose. Prove that to me.
I mean, that's the job
Prove that to me. Prove that to me. Prove that to me. Prove that to me. You believe a lot of things. I'm going to shut you up for a second. Let you listen to some music. You can chill. You believe a lot of things without any factual basis behind them at all.
Like, what is a lot of things? I only mentioned like one or two things, though.
You believed that that illegal immigrants get SNAP. You shut the fuck up and I'll tell you. Don't start talking. You believed that illegal immigrants got SNAP. Proved you wrong on that. Now you are saying that they come over with the purpose of having children in order to get SNAP. Prove that to me.
I mean, it's the American dream, you know.
It's the American dream to be on... No. Stop. Pause. It is the American dream... Pause. It is the American dream to be on welfare?
To come to America.
Because we sold them a lie. Yes, because we sold them a lie. Yes, because we sold them a lie. Yes, that's not what you said. That is not what you said. What you said, nope. What you said, nope. What you said, no. What you said is that they came over with the purpose of having a child in order to get that welfare. Prove that to me.
So when they had the child, they did it with the purpose of welfare.
That's what you said.
and obviously the immigration status.
Prove it.
You know, because if you have
Prove
a child,
it.
you can't get kicked out.
Prove it.
So
Prove it.
Jackson Heights. Are you familiar
Prove
with
it.
Jackson
No, I don't
Heights?
want to hear about your anecdotal stories because apparently you watch people have sex too, so you should probably get put on a list. Maybe call Dick Wolf. He'll put you on Law & Order SVU because apparently you like to watch people have conversations before they have sex. I need you to prove to me, I need you to prove to me with statistics or a study that people are coming over and having children with the purpose of getting that welfare from the government. Prove it.
I mean, I cannot.
I know you can't. You just believe shit. Anyway. Guys, keep tapping that screen. We should hit 25,000 likes before we hit 1030. I think you guys are well on your way to do that. I've seen you guys hit 200,000 likes before, and we've just been barely making 100,000. So let's push on that, please. I would appreciate it. Let's keep doing all of those good things. Guys, I have 5-0 in my goal for today, so let's try working on that with a $1 train or a $2 train. Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal are all in my bio. I would appreciate it. Welfare recipients contribute nothing to society. That's interesting because they work and pay taxes. Interesting. All right, let's get started with some polling today. Fox News did a poll talking about the Americans and how it has increased, that their concern is the cost of living. So we are going to look at that and their disapproval of Donald Trump's handling of the economy.
Back home, the average price of gas is now above $4 in every single state. And just 5 months ahead of the midterms, new Fox polling shows 58% of respondents.
That's also true, Mia. Welfare actually stimulates the economy. So I believe it's for every, every dollar spent or every dollar given, I think $3 to $5 is spent back into the economy from the people who receive those benefits.
Respondents say the cost of living is their top economic worry. That's up 8 points from February. And 71% disapprove of the president's performance on the economy. Back home, the average price
that's going well, isn't it? Which, by the way, he's not had approval on his handling of the economy in the entirety of the year 2026. So what they pay in taxes doesn't cover what they receive. That's not true, Stan, at all. Literally not true. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about you, and I have shown this. I showed this yesterday where he talked about the money being peanuts. What people are paying is peanuts. It's peanuts to him because he doesn't have to drive anywhere, and we pay for all the gas to drive his fat ass around. So, of course, no, he doesn't care. It's peanuts to him. Why would he care? Interesting. What are some of the policies the Democrats will talk about in the midterms? Honestly, it's probably going to be economy, and it's going to be their own words, right? It's going to be their own words. Which, by the way, that clip I showed yesterday of that guy who said, he said we're going to put the government before Americans. He retweeted it and said, I obviously misspoke, except for you were reading from a piece of paper and had no hesitations, no skips, and did not fix it. So that's definitely not fucking true at all. Let's get to this part of the economy before we keep going here. This is Bevin, and he is talking on Fox News with Bret Baier's panel that he has, and he's talking about what he filled, I want you to listen, what he filled his gas tank up for, and what he sees of the inflation rate.
Authorization of the use of military force coming up again and again, and these votes, he's starting to lose Republicans as they're counting heads here. If you look at the latest Fox polls about the concern about Iran getting a nuclear bomb, that has dropped significantly from June of 25 to now. It's still 56-44. But the U.S. military against Iran predicting when it's going to be over, many people are saying months now, 38%, as they look at the possibilities of this dragging on.
Yeah, those numbers are sort of eye-popping, right? Over a third think it's going to last months, and another third thinks it's going to last over a year. And this is the problem. President Trump is finding out it's easy to get into wars, hard to get out of wars. And they also, strategically, when you
That's a crazy name. I'm just going to call you Steeler. I've talked about it for 2 days in a row, and I have a section to talk about it today. I've spoken about it for 2 days in a fucking row.
You know, they started this thing by saying, well, we're just going to take this little detour, and it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. They sort of set expectations there. And now you can see the president, his argument is, well, look at all these other wars. Vietnam lasted 19 years. We've only been at this, 3 months. But the clock is ticking, and that argument is, according to all the data, including the latest Fox poll.
No, I know. That's why we've been keeping up on it, Steeler. That's why I talked about it. It literally was my entire 2 hours on, what's today? Today's Thursday, so Tuesday. And then I spoke about it again yesterday, and I have stuff on it again today. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Hello, I am 22, New York, Donald Trump.
Okay, why are you still supporting Trump?
Donald Trump does a lot of good for the small folk.
Like
He's
what?
helped my family.
No, not
tremendously.
with what policy did he do?
Insurance, food
How'd he help?
assistance.
What insurance did he help with?
Got like Medicaid.
What did he help with that?
So before we didn't qualify, and now my family and I qualify for Medicaid.
How
now
did
we get free.
How did he help you qualify for
by
Medicaid?
passing the bills. By passing the bills to make us eligible.
Which bill did they pass to make you eligible for Medicaid?
I'm not too familiar with the exact bill, but I know it was Trump because my parents
Go ahead and
told
look
me.
that up.
Okay, 1 second, please. Trump Care, I think they called it.
That's not a thing. Guys, can I get
the open enrollment. I just signed up. Affordable Care Act.
Oh.
The great health.
The Affordable Care Act. When was the Affordable Care Act passed?
Make America Healthy. I'm not sure exactly. It doesn't tell me.
But you're saying the ACA. The ACA is the reason that you were able to qualify for Medicaid?
Yes.
Okay. The ACA. The ACA, which that doesn't even make any sense because the ACA is a marketplace for insurance, but the ACA was passed under Obama.
This is what it is. It was coordinated actions by the HHS and CMS for fraud, waste, crackdown.
No, that did not make you eligible. That didn't make you eligible for Medicaid.
But it did. Medicaid reforms, implementation of policies.
What are you reading from?
Just the AI prompt thing, just because we're on the spot.
What did you type in?
I put Trump Healthcare and I just browsed through, but it's Trump Healthcare basically.
Trump Healthcare, and you typed that into Google?
Yes, HHS.net.
No, but again, you're talking about the ACA, which is Obama. You're talking about HHS, which has not done anything to change to make eligibility easier. So just keep making shit up. W's to Shauna for the $2 train. Choo choo. I love the fucking image. I can't really I can't show it that great without there we go. Let's see. Yeah. Choo choo. So W's to Shauna for that. That brings us down to 48. Guys, so let's keep working on the goal, please. I would appreciate it so much. And maybe we can get people with an actual brain stem attached to the brain. I doubt it. But we'll see. Anyway, let's get to this guy talking about what he filled up his gas tank for.
Is failing among the American people, particularly on the issue of the inflation economy. And Harold mentioned that gas prices. I paid $5.30 to fill up my car the other day.
He paid $5.30 to fill up his car. I think he means per gallon. I think that's what he means, which is expensive. That's not good. But then this part.
I'm feeling it every single day. And his numbers on inflation are as low as I've ever seen for any president.
His numbers on inflation are as low as I've seen for any president. That's interesting. Let's look at that, shall we? Current in U.S. inflation rates. Because we saw that in April, it went up to 3.8. That's low? That's interesting. Here's 2024. Here's the last year of Biden. I know you guys don't like that, but here's the last year of Biden. It's the lowest we've seen from any president. That's interesting. Like, that's my issue. My issue is that you guys just believe the shit that they say, or because you want to desperately believe it when it is right in your face that it's not. It's just right in your face that it's not. It doesn't make any sense to me. You can, Robert, the number's on there. Just, I like to have conversations based off of factually based evidence and not your feelings. Okay, so we saw yesterday that I showed the breaking news, which we'll get to in a minute. No. The breaking news that the DOJ has indicted Raul Castro, this 95-year-old fucking man. And so now it's interesting. So here's Marco Rubio was being asked about it today. I want to ask MAGA real quick though, or Trump supporters or Republicans. Robert, my number is on there. It's God, I can see it better on this screen. 509-795-0412. And you can call the number. I would like to ask MAGA conservatives, which country is the #1 state sponsor of terrorism? Oh, wait. Midwest, yeah, that's actually the truth. Matt Chu says the UK. Mr. Anderson says Iran. Okay, that's kind of the answer I was expecting. Randy says Israel. I mean, that's why I said MAGA and conservatives. Which country is the #1 state sponsor of terrorism? Stan, you live abroad. What the fuck do you care what's going on here? That's your Cash App name is Wild Sunkus. W Sunkus for the 15 with all the red hearts. I love you. And by the way, you did not need to apologize. I'm just at a limit of Trump supporters themselves. It was nothing to do with you. You guys have your fun. That is how you guys deal with what the fuck is going on. I think I was just at my limit. I probably need a fucking break, but a bitch can't afford to take a break. So please do not feel the need to apologize to me. I needed to step away, and luckily I had to anyway because I had to come here. So don't apologize to me. But W, thank you so much to Sunkiss. I want to see W's of Sunkiss for the 15. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, the U.S., America. I mean, yeah, if we're telling the truth, it is. But most of the time when we talk, you guys say that it is Iran. You guys say that the #1 state sponsor of terrorism is Iran, which is interesting with what Rubio now says today.
Here's what I can tell you. Cuba not only has weapons that they've acquired from Russia and China over the years, but they also host Russian and Chinese intelligence presence in their country, not far from where we're standing right now. So Cuba has always posed a national security threat to the United States. They, by the way, have been one of the leading sponsors of terrorism in the entire region. You look at the groups that work out of Colombia that have destabilized that country over the years with full support from this regime over there. So Cuba's consistently posed a threat to the national security of the United States. And the other thing that poses a threat to the national security of the United States is to have a failed state 90 miles from our shores run by friends of our adversaries.
So apparently it's Cuba, I guess. Now Cuba's the threat, guys. Pivot it. We are pivoting to Cuba being the threat. Why? Because we are setting up to go fucking invade Cuba now. I love that we are now the Axis fucking power instead of the Allied power. That's really fun for us. But actually, Newsmax calls it out. So Newsmax's anchor is talking to James Comer about the whole Cuba thing, and he actually calls him out on it, and it's pretty fucking great to see. I love to see that, especially because Newsmax is such a right-leaning source that they're like, this, he even said, like, this sounds like a false flag. This does not sound real. This sounds made up.
This Cuba thing, Secretary of State Marco Rubio released a message to the people of Cuba today in Spanish. Then Raul Castro gets indicted. I get it. The Ayatollah is gone. Nicolas Maduro is in jail. But now Cuba, look, I think people struggle with how this is America first when gas is $4.55 a gallon right now.
It is, and you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, Cuba has always been a national security threat. And as you said earlier, we've been negotiating with Cuba since before I was born. I'm 53 years old. So
I don't see where we've been negotiating with Cuba. I see where we've been having an embargo and sanctions on Cuba.
Negotiations have gone nowhere.
Right, yeah, and Cuba. By the way, Cuba that literally can't turn on their lights. They maybe get like an hour of electricity a day right now because of what we're doing. Again, babies and people in hospitals are dying. They don't have food, but they're a threat. They're such a big threat.
Cuba's leader is at the end of his lifespan. The Cuban people clearly, unlike maybe the Iranian people, the Cuban people clearly want a regime change in Cuba.
That's interesting too. The people in Cuba, unlike maybe Iran, didn't you guys spend weeks yelling at me that the Iranian people wanted this? Now James Comer is saying that they don't want this, but the people in Cuba definitely do.
It's just, minutes away from Miami and Florida in the United States. So it's a strategic problem for the United States.
But do you really think they're a threat, Mr. Chairman? Do you really think that Cuba's a threat?
Well, if some country went in and loaded Cuba with the same drones that Iran had, when we first started bombing Iran, then yes, I think it could be a threat. I don't think that's there. I know John Radcliffe has been on the ground. The CIA's on the ground as we speak, talking to the Cuban officials. I really don't think, Rob, it'll get to any type of military action, but the president's threatening that. He's increased sanctions on Cuba. I don't know how many more sanctions the Cubans can take, especially after what happened in Venezuela. The Cuban-American population clearly supports what the president's doing in Cuba. Thus far, it hasn't cost any tax dollars other than to send a few diplomats to Cuba. But at the end of the day, I think that we've got to be on guard because of the new types of warfare that's out there with these new drones and this new technology.
I get it,
We're
but
seeing
Cuba,
it play out in Iran.
I understand that. Axios had a report this week that the U.S. is concerned, I'm sure you saw this, about a possible Cuba drone strike on Florida. And I'll be honest, Mr. Chairman, I know that you've got the security clearance to know more.
But again, that reporting is based off of the idea of retaliation. If you come here, then yes, we will. Not that we will on our own. We will if you fuck with us. Defensive, leave a sovereign nation alone, maybe. Hi, Mia.
Hello.
Hello.
So, as some of you know, this is my favorite fucking thing to listen to, and not in a good way. So, there are literal interviews of because of course, like Monty said, there are vulnerable populations or vulnerable people unaliving, right? They're not great. They were conducting interviews like what was it? TYT. Because I was just listening to it one night, and there are people that are legitimately just like, I just want to unalive because I am so miserable because of what we are going through.
Yeah.
When you put decades long embargoes on a country, yes, they are going to hurt. If they so think that Cuba is communist, right? They so think this. It is not. If you think that they are like communism is harmful, then let it be harmful and not work on its own.
Let it fail on its own. I've never understood that. If it's so bad, let us just step away and let it be bad.
Cuba has literally 2015 is when Barack Obama was, it was 2015. Yes. 2015 is when Barack Obama was able to actually take a lot of those embargoes and sanctions and stuff like that and allow for Cuba to actually be able to, get the boot off of their fucking neck. And it became it started to thrive. because they could actually live and they actually had hope for survival, right? Whereas as of I think it was like mid 2017
Probably.
is when all of that stuff got pushed the fuck back. I would need people to understand that these people are so fucking, like, these people, meaning this administration, they're so worried about the fucking 51st state. How many 51st states can you propose before you're just like, oh, you just want power? It's not that anything wrong is happening in those places. It's just, you just want to be able to put your stamp on something. And that's not okay. It's not yours.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about legacy, which is ridiculous. W's to Stephanie. I'm not sure which chat you're in. Are you in TikTok chat or YouTube chat? Or I guess maybe both. W Stephanie for the 10. You said host choice on muting for the day because the comments are wild today. I think this covers 2 for the day. That covers, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5 people. TikTok. There you are, Steph. That covers 5 people for the day. So, we'll see how we want to do this. So, Steph, if you have any names you want to throw out for the day to get muted, just throw them out, and we can do that. But W's to you. Or you can do somebody for a week and 2 days, or however you want to do that.
So, if we find someone we don't like, mods, put it in the mod chat.
Yes, so that we can
so
count
we know. And then the rest of it, we can either choose, what's it called? Ruben or
we can just add it to their sentence.
Yeah. So mods, make sure you keep in mind who you mute in the chat and add it.
Which, speaking of, I was going to mention as well, Waffle Jackson came back into my YouTube chat, and I got the pleasure of muting him myself because, Waffle Jackson, you're still muted until about sometime next week. I'll let you figure out when that is. Guys, if you would like to pay, just like Steph just did, to mute, Steph just got a bundle of mutes, and we love that. Thank you. W's to Steph. You can.
Do you want someone muted in the chat? Is there someone who's spamming, making disingenuous arguments, displaying bot behavior, or maybe they're just a dumb bitch? Well, you can keep them muted and contribute to their degradation kink. But remember, while we don't kink shame, it is perfectly acceptable to kink ask why. You can keep them muted for as little as $2 a day, $7 a week, or $25 a month. Pay links in the bio.
So W's, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, let's make sure we're doing the good things. I see that we are at 56,000 likes, so we're knocking that out of the park. I appreciate it. Love that. W pricing. Yeah, I wonder who came up with that. Brilliant person, I think. So thank you. Guys, if you're over on the YouTube chat, can you hit that thumbs up button for me if you have not already? I would appreciate it. And we will, again, finish this, as Mia pointed out, all the amazing information. If you are not looking up what's going on between the U.S. and Cuba right now, you should. It's going to be in the news now, so I guess you are finally going to pay attention to it. All the rest of us were already looking into it. But the Newsmax anchor really doesn't let up on him, because he's like, what... Like, you're just saying, like, they could get these weapons, they could do this, they could be a threat. Not that they are. And again, that's the whole point. Where is the imminent, I hate that word, threat?
More about this, but to me, this just sounds like we're trying to make the case to attack Cuba. I don't buy it. It sounds like a false flag operation. Would you support military action in Cuba if it came to that? And I guess more importantly, do you buy this report in Axios?
Well, I know that I've been one of the biggest critics of our intelligence community over the past 10 years.
Right.
They're usually wrong. They usually do everything they can to get us to the point of warfare because that's what they like to do, apparently. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody right now supports an invasion of Cuba or anything else. We're hoping that this can turn diplomatically. Again, with the age of Castro and with the economic conditions, the worst they've ever been in Cuba, I think now's a prime time for a strong president to go in and try to change that country. And
the conditions are the worst they've ever been because of this president. But now you want to give him the blank check to go in and invade this country that he caused to be where it's at. Make that make sense, James Comer.
hopefully get it done. He's made some great progress in other countries like Venezuela in his administration dating back to the first term. He has credibility on the international stage. So I'm hoping for the best, but I don't want to see boots on the ground. I don't want to see missiles fired. I don't want to see any of that, but hopefully we can do it diplomatically.
All right, let me just.
He's not gonna. He's gonna go in there. I just have a feeling.
And for those that don't like to look into context, it is very much, there are plenty of statements from the leader of Cuba that have said that like we do not want war, we do not want this to get violent, we just basically want to be left alone. However, we have a community of resistance, right? So like if they have to defend themselves, they will. That is what has been put out there. And that's legitimately like what y'all love to sit there and say, the castle doctrine, stand your ground. That's what they're doing. So if you advocate for like protecting your home, then you should be able to advocate for Cuba to protect their own, okay? Because that's all that they have said. They do not want any type of military action. So if you can advocate for the castle doctrine and stand your ground laws, yeah, encourage your fucking Congress members to encourage this administration to leave Cuba the fuck alone.
And when they don't, because they won't leave Cuba alone. I don't want to hear a damn word of bitching from you when we get more Cuban immigrants than we've ever seen in this country. I don't want to fucking hear it. Avel, you said this lady, what happened to $50 goal, laughing my ass off, what a joke. I count down, sweetie. And actually, my goal started at $100 today. I only have, guys, thank you so much, Avel, for reminding me. Guys, I have 3 left in my goal. We can finish that out with a $1 train or a $2 train, and I have about an hour and 10 minutes left here. So if we would like to contribute to that and finish off the goal, I appreciate it so much. The link tree are in my bio, Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, and we can get that goal accomplished. Okay. I'm going to play these couple videos I have on more of Trump losing his fucking mind, and then we're going to get back into, I know Steeler was talking about it. Again, Steeler, I've talked about it for 2 straight days in a row, and I'm going to keep it. Bye, Mia. Love you. Is back to the anti-weaponization fund and the ruckus it is causing within Congress. So we're going to get to that. But first, let's just show you, just as a reminder of who you voted for, that he is losing his fucking mind in real time.
You'll become commissioned officers in the United States Coast Guard, and our country is hot. This is a great time. Our country is hot. I hate to say it, but I will. A year ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, the last administration, we were a dead country. Right now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Hold on. What time frame was that?
Is hot. I hate to say it, but I will. A year ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, the last administration, we were a dead.
You don't know when that is? You don't know when that was? It's interesting. Eli, did you ask Avel if I'm faking donations? That's interesting.
If he hates saying it, why did he say it?
Well, my thing is the time frame. Does he not know? Because a year ago was him. A year and a half ago was Biden. Him. No, was him. That was Trump. That would have been January. Yeah. We're hitting June. But now he has 2 years ago, a year ago. The man does not fucking know. He literally doesn't fucking know.
He also thinks that he can run in 2028 and 2032, so.
Am I asking him like he can talk back? Who? Eli? Eli can. Eli is in all of my chats, literally all of them. My Twitch chat, my YouTube chat, my TikTok chat. He's also in my Discord, and he's in my mod chat. I can talk to Eli all the time. I could bring Eli up right now, and he can talk to you, if that's who you're talking about. But, Avel, since I'm getting fake donations, W's to Daniel for the $10 for winning. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That was on the Blue app, Avel. We appreciate that. Oh, you're mad I'm talking to Trump? Oh, honey. You wouldn't like if I could really talk to him.
Country. Right now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're respected all over the world. You saw that with China just recently. You saw that in Venezuela. You saw that right now in Iran.
Hey, Lakin, we'll call that 1 of 5. How about that? Muted for the entire live. W. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
What was that? You spoke a little too quick there.
Can I get your age, your state, and who you voted for, please?
38, Massachusetts, and Trump.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because I think that his agenda has been going pretty smooth so far.
What of his agenda do you support?
I think what he's doing in Iran is pretty intelligent, considering what he's doing is probably not what most people think he's doing.
What is he trying to do?
Break away from UK control in the Middle East.
How is us attacking Iran doing that?
Hold on a second. Let me put my
Sure, you're fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, in the Middle East, I mentioned this in the chat. Essentially, the Muslim Brotherhood was developed through the UK. The UK funded the Muslim Brotherhood in the 20s, I believe. Essentially, it all started then, and then when BP got started, not that much longer later in history, our recent history. Obviously, BP is controlled by UK. UK has tons of refineries in the UAE, in the Middle East. And essentially, that's what is going on. They're trying to block UK, the city of London, from their monetary control mostly over the Middle East, but they also have tentacles in different countries as well. Obviously, they're all over the place. People just don't know that because it's very subtle.
Why wouldn't Donald Trump talk about that being his reasoning? Because he's not very good at hiding. He's not very good at hiding the reason he does the things he does.
I don't disagree. Okay, but I think
you're
that
smarter than him. I think that would be your strategy. I don't think that would be his.
I think the reason why is because people obviously look at our relationship with the UK as strong and cohesive, but the reality is the UK has a huge influence on what goes on in other countries, especially in the UAE. So when OPEC broke up, I agree, but again, because I think that this is also intertwined with the monetary system. So we all know how much debt we're in this country.
39
we
trillion.
all know that yes, and he's spending a lot of money too. Don't disagree.
Right.
Totally. Okay. At the end of the day, I think what was happening was we realized that if we kept going down this road and we don't take control over oil, which included Venezuela, and I'm not saying it's right.
I think that's colonization. I don't agree with that.
Again, I don't think it's right.
Okay.
But I think there are other reasons that we're trying to hold the system by a fucking thread at this point. Because if we don't do any of these things, we won't be able to control the collapse that was probably going to happen at some point in the near future.
The collapse of what?
The monetary systems. Not being able to pay our debt back, China backing out of, China selling all our bonds, depleting the U.S. from
but actually
being able to pay their debt.
Sure, but the time where we saw that happening the most is bonds. That's why Trump tacoed on his tariffs, is because after Liberation Day tariffs were announced, people started selling treasury bonds, and that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So he tacoed on those tariffs. So I think you have a better strategy than he does. I don't think that that's him or his administration's goal. I think he wants a legacy for himself because it had the name of Obama on it.
Keep in mind also that the City of London funds and has ties with certain I don't know the exact refineries. I don't know the exact companies, but that certain companies that have ties with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Okay.
That on the White House website, I don't have it with me, but they are some of the companies that were sanctioned by the U.S. government. So again, this is stuff that's going on behind this, and it directly tied to the UK.
But that's talking about a terrorist organization versus economic collapse, right? So again, I don't think that Donald Trump is smart enough to think about economic collapse because he keeps instituting policies that cause recessions.
Like what?
The tariffs.
I don't believe tariffs create recession.
We saw that we were heading towards one in his first term because of his tariffs, and then he's tacoed from his tariffs after Liberation Day because of what was going on with the economy and specifically with Treasury bonds.
No, I think what the tariffs were meant to do was help take us away from heading towards a recession even faster.
What is a tariff?
It's a tax on an exported good to the U.S.
Who pays for it?
Companies pay that.
Which company?
Whatever company imports the goods.
Right. So companies
shipping.
within the United States pay for that, right?
Well, they could be based in a different country too.
Not if they're importing it. No, if they're importing it, we can't control that. If they're in another country.
Okay. If you're talking about one imported goods directly into the United States, sure. It's again
because that's the tariffs we implement. The tariffs we implement are on corporations in our country. How would that be anti-recession?
Because I'm not okay. I think we're conflating the two. If in the U.S., obviously we've had issues with inflation. Okay.
Sure.
Inflation now is a huge issue because of oil prices.
Correct.
And energy costs, right? Yeah. So what I think is going to end up happening, and I'm trying to weave the two together because in a way, yes, tariffs may increase inflation depending on what companies are importing what and depending on what regulations are involved in those.
Well, my thing is the way he's doing it, right? Like I don't personally have an issue with targeted tariffs like we saw with like the Chips and Science Act, or I actually kind of against the 100% on Chinese EVs because our EVs just aren't cutting it. But I can understand why, right? Like to build up specific sectors that we have the infrastructure to do. I have an issue with the way Donald Trump did it. Blanket tariffs is where we see an issue in our economy.
Well, you know why he did that though? Because he could only implement it through the executive order that obviously ended up getting struck down.
Through IEEPA. He had to say it was a national emergency when it wasn't.
That's why he did a blanket tariff.
Yeah, because he's not smart.
Targeted tariffs.
No, I
think he understood that it would go through the court system and it would get struck down at some point, but he had a time frame where he could implement it. Even though it was struck down by the court, it still was in place for a certain amount of time.
So he stole a shit ton of money from us and from corporations in the meantime?
I wouldn't say stole, but I would say...
What's he doing with it? Where is it? Where's the transparency on the invoice of that money?
Well, apparently he's giving the money back to the corporations. He's not going to give money back to the taxpayers.
Which he's pissed about. He has wrote multiple Truth Social posts talking about the fact that if the Supreme Court would have just put one sentence in there that said we didn't have to pay it back, like he's pissed about that.
Sure. I mean, again, these are all things that happen within administrations. They make decisions and then there's causal
I agree. I just don't think he's that smart. Like this idea that you have, like the only thing I actually hear from most Trump supporters is that this is to hurt China. Attacking Iran is to hurt China, which that's not even working.
There's multiple fronts here. It's not just about, it is somewhat about China. And obviously we just went to China. It's not just about China.
He got nothing out of it except for corporations making money. That's great. That does not help the American people at all. Donald Trump is very, very, very bad at lying. Well, like he's bad at lying. He lies all the time, but it's easy to catch. He is not good at hiding intel. He told us where the B-2 bombers came from after Midnight Hammer, which he shouldn't have done. That violates fucking OPSEC. I don't think he would have this huge plan that you just described to weaken the UK's hold on the Middle East without talking about it.
Again, I think this is my opinion, but from what I gather, there are reasons why he doesn't want to be open about it. Because if he were to be open about it, it would obviously, it wouldn't make any sense for him to even bother doing it, because then the UK can start implementing certain strategies that would help
They already,
them.
but they already are. He talks shit on them all the time. He says that they're not good allies. We need to get out of NATO. They didn't help us. They've
They
never
aren't.
helped us. That's fine. That's your opinion, and we can get into that. But he already talks crap on them. So if he's already doing this, it's not something he needs to hide. Then he could just say it, and instead he's not. He's not saying the things that you're saying.
Well, like I said, I think that there are things that intelligence agencies, the administration as a whole, don't want to be
But then that's
publicized.
just conspiracy theory that you believe without facts. And until I have an intelligence report that says that, I don't care.
You may not ever get one, because I think
Cool.
that this
Then
is
that's
more national
conspiracy.
security
That's
based.
conspiracy theory. Then
I mean, it's almost quite obvious. I mean, think of it this way, right? We're in the Strait of Hormuz, right?
Uh-huh.
The Strait of Hormuz pushes through how much of the world's oil on average, like an average day or whatever. It's like 60% of the world's oil, right?
Sure.
Okay. So if the U.S. could literally go in there and take over the whole fucking thing right this second, if they really wanted to.
Obviously
Okay?
not.
They again.
Do we have control of the
again,
strait? It's 20%, Audie. They control 20%. Okay.
Who, the U.S.?
No, the Strait of Hormuz is 20% of the world's oil supply. Does the U.S.
20% of the world.
the world's oil supply?
All right, I thought it was higher than that.
What? Who controls the Strait of Hormuz right now?
Nobody really.
Okay.
It definitely ain't Iran,
Then why is Donald Trump saying that we do?
because I think it's a strategic move to not infiltrate
Your
so that.
thoughts are not facts.
Okay.
So again, that's conspiracy theory. I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories. They tend to go pretty far out there. It doesn't mean that it's true.
Sure. I mean, I guess we all have our own opinions, including yourself. It just is
I
what
don't-
it is.
I try to base things off of fact. I honestly don't know why we're there, besides my opinion of him wanting to build himself a legacy because the JCPOA had Obama's name on it. That's the only thing I've got,
And that's-
because nobody's given me a
that's your-
valid reason for why we're there.
Sure. And again, that's your opinion. That's not based off of fact. We don't really have any facts.
Right,
as
that's
to
bad.
exactly
That's bad.
why
We are
we're there.
in a war where we have lost 13 fucking people without any facts behind it.
Sure. I mean, again, it's the way the world works. I mean, we've had wars for
not.
so long.
No, he campaigned on no new wars. He could have just done that.
Sure. I don't disagree, but I think that there's more things going on behind the scenes than we really know about.
Sure. Do you
Unfortunately, some stuff is hidden from the public,
Uh-huh.
and it.
do you
it is
have
what it
do you have opinions on the World Economic Forum by chance?
Opinions meaning, what do you mean? Like what type? What do you mean
Do
by
you have any
opinions?
opinions
Just
on the World Economic Forum?
generalization? I mean, personally, I think globalism's terrible for the world.
Do you know who the Bilderberg Group is by chance?
Somewhat, yeah.
Of course you do. See, that's why I talk about conspiracy theories. Don't do that.
Well, the Bilderberg Group is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Do they
Why is that a conspiracy
are they
theory?
controlling the world right now?
No, I think that there's elite actors that are fighting against one another. I don't think it's just elites control everything. I think
Do they
there's more
happen to
it
have
than just that.
do they happen to have a specific ethnicity?
I don't think it really matters what their ethnicity is.
That's not what I asked you. If it mattered, and I didn't ask if it mattered. I asked you if they have a prominent ethnicity.
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I don't follow it that
Stay off
in-depth.
of the 4chan groups, please. But thank you for being civil. I do appreciate you being civil. And I honestly think that you're smarter than the administration. That doesn't mean I would still want to be over in Iran. I don't think that we should be over in Iran. But your message might make more sense, except for the fact that all you're doing is saying we need to remove the colonization of the UK and put our own colonization there. And yet you said, I don't necessarily think it's a good thing, but I am here to defend it. I don't like that. So I'm going to use this as a kick anyway. But W's to Kate for the $5 for Antifa dues. W to Kate. Guys, it is getting close to the end of the month, so although we have hit my goal, guys, a bitch could always use more. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But I would appreciate it if we can contribute to the Antifa Fund. George Soros does breathe down my neck every single month to make sure that we pay him because he does love his BLM bake sales. So if you guys would like to contribute to that fund, I would appreciate it. So W's to Kate for giving me the 5 for the Antifa dues. And then W's to Kelly for the 13 for fuck Avela and Trump. So Avela, with my grifting goal that you didn't like in my fake donations, Kelly knocked that out. So thank you for that. But again, if you would like to keep contributing, I would appreciate it. Guys, my husband had to spend $616 out of pocket yesterday for 2 ulcers, one of them to get cauterized. We love that. Love that. Because although it's my husband's income that keeps us on Medicaid, thank God for my children who need it, he doesn't get it. He's not approved. He needs to check in with insurance for his job that he has just started. I think he's finally past the 90 days, but hello, $600 down the fucking drain. So any help that you guys can give, I appreciate it so very much. Guys, we are at 80,000 likes. Almost on my phone. On here it says 80. It gives you the extra credit on the TikTok studio. I appreciate you guys. Let's make sure we are so close to hitting 100,000 likes over there. I appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. If you're on Twitch, I see you and I'm just saying hello. All right. Let's get to the other Donald Trump's losing his fucking mind video, and then we can get to the anti-weaponization fund again before the end of the day.
Beautiful. And I said, come on, when's the first one coming? They said, in 28. I said, I'm going to be here in 28. Maybe I'll be here in 32, too. I don't know. Maybe I will. Beautiful. And I said...
So, we need to shut that down. And not just we on the left. I mean, everybody. If you believe in the Constitution, then you should be standing with me, just in this instance. It doesn't have to be with anything else. We can walk the fuck away from each other after this, but stand with me on the fact that he cannot be the president in 28, and I don't know what the fuck, or 32. I don't know why he thinks he's gonna be alive that long. I'm not saying that. He's 79 and he's not in great shape. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna get cryoed or something so that he can still be around. But again, it's sarcasm. I don't think it's sarcasm. You guys always say shit like that. They're not actually going to overturn Roe v. Wade. You guys are being ridiculous. What did they do? Oh, they overturned it. Okay. Uh-huh. He'll leave office. He will. January 6th happened. And not just January 6th, the actual day. The fact that he had fake slates of electors to try and overturn the election. Uh-huh. So we were wrong about that one. He's going to pardon the Jan 6ers. He pardoned all the Jan 6ers. Now he's going to pay them. Now he's going to pay them. Okay. So Todd Blanche did an interview. And he's going to tell you, the American people, that the American people are fine with our taxpayer money paying for the Jan 6ers to get paid for being assholes. That's lovely. We love that.
But wouldn't the average taxpayer respond and say, okay, but why is that now my problem? Why do my tax dollars now need to go to people who are upset about their involvement in investigations?
Well, if you're just upset, you're not getting it done. On the other hand, I think if you said to the American taxpayer that there is a horrible wrong committed by your government, and now you can apply and you can have your lawyer's fees back. You can be compensated for what you lost financially. What American would say, oh my gosh, that's terrible? I mean, I very much disagree with the idea that the American taxpayer is indignant about the fact that a victim of weaponization, okay, a victim who suffered, whether it was legal fees, loss of job, had their life turned upside down in a way that was not appropriate. If it was appropriate, there should be no compensation. And that's why we have 5 commissioners who will take a look at it. But I do not think the American...
Remember, 5 commissioners that he appoints. Todd Bland gets to appoint those commissioners.
People have issues with that. To the contrary, I think they do want their tax dollars spent on things like that.
I'd actually rather have them spend on things to like help with my child's education or health care in this country for people who need it, or our roads, or ensuring that our planes stay in the motherfucking air. It's true. Gerrymandering is governmental weaponization, Blue. So yeah, I would say apply for sure. Absolutely. So then Blanche gets asked again, because he was asked yesterday about it when he was in front of Congress, or the day before when he was in front of Congress, talking about if they were convicted of attacking a police officer, even though Donald Trump pardoned them because he's a shitbag, should they get compensation?
You're the nation's top law enforcement official right now. Would you be okay?
Boss man, you don't like the Constitution? He said, take care of your on-child. My on-child, I don't know what my on-child is, but provide for the general welfare.
With people who were convicted of hurting police getting taxpayer money.
Just to be clear, people that hurt police get money all the time, okay? There's a process where
People who hurt police get money all the time. Where? Source? Example? Turn off my children. Okay, I'll go unplug them. Oh my God, Peter. That's so cute. But where? People who hurt police get money all the time. Where? Ari's here. Hi.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry. I was still like opening my car to sit down.
Chloe, I got you too fast.
Oh no, you're good. I was like, oh, wasn't expecting. Anyway,
I just missed you, so I was like, she's here.
Ari! I've been off. Hi, Olive. I've officially been not live for a whole week. So
wild.
It's insane. It's insane to think about. It's insane to make a last minute trip.
Thank you, Oris.
The service was beautiful at least, so there was that.
Oh, good. I hate funerals. They're no fun.
No, legitimately, it's the worst. I mean, like, isn't it crazy? Like, your family mostly only comes together for the tragic events.
Yeah, the awful things.
Oh, yeah, it's either they're all there when you're born. Well, anyone that can be, or they're there when you die.
Boss man.
It's an insane thought process.
Boss man, you told me to let the immigrants live in my house. We're not even talking about immigrants right now. We're talking about the anti-weaponization fund and January 6th specifically, but I don't understand what's that's about. But again,
listen, guys, I'm here. Oh, I was gonna say this kind of goes back into your point. Like, I'm here to catch up on the news that I've missed.
Right.
So can y'all stay on task, stay on point? Can we stop with the mystery board, murder board bullshit, and put the yarn down, guys? Yeah. It doesn't all circle back to the United Kingdom, all right?
But again, she asked him, are you okay with people who attacked police officers getting money? And his pivot to that was still defending it by saying that people who hurt cops get money all the time, which I, again, have not seen proof of, but that is also just a justification. So yes, his answer is yes.
If you believe you have your...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think he's referring to people that, or family members that receive settlements from wrongful death suits against police departments. That's the only thing I can think.
That could be possibly close to what he's talking about, but it's not even that wrong.
rights violated, you can apply for funds, you can sue, you can file a claim, you can go to court. In some of those cases, the state, the government, the federal government settles those cases. It's abhorrent to ever touch a law enforcement officer, which is why anytime anybody does that, and it's a federal officer, we'll prosecute them. But that's a completely different question with whether an individual is allowed to apply for a claim. Whether they'll get a claim, depends. I can't, it would not be appropriate for me to talk about absolutes, like absolutely not, under no circumstances. I mean, we can talk about hypotheticals till we're blue in the face, but...
It's unreasonable to make an absolute about that? You can't say absolutely not. Nobody who was convicted at least, convicted of attacking a police officer will not be able to apply to this fund. You can't say that?
Oh, you know what I thought of though? They won't say that. But James Comey has a very strong case considering his indictment was thrown out as, quote, malicious prosecution.
Yeah.
I think, and he suffered attorney fees from that time. And while it was unsuccessful, I would think that the judge's reasoning for dismissing the case is clear that it was, quote, vindictive prosecution and therefore lawfare.
Oh yeah, no, we talked about it. So many people, James Comey, Letitia James, Monica LaIver, like all of them. You should apply. Just why not? Fuck it. Do it. Because that's what y'all want.
But that really wouldn't be fruitful.
It would be. Because it would ensure that people who attacked police did not get a payout. So GOP, in case you guys don't know, GOP, Republican Representative Fitzpatrick has already sent in a letter and said that he's going to do his best to, quote, kill this. And to get rid of this. He is not okay with this at all. This is a relatively long interview, but he sat down with Caitlin Collins. I know you guys are going to get mad. Get it out now. I'll just show it on the screen. Get it out now. Cloud News Network, Commie News Network. Oh no, a woman, and she's pretty, and it makes me feel things, but she asks real questions, and so I don't like her. Meh. He sits down with Caitlin Collins and talks about the fact that he's going to do everything in his power to stop this, and that he has submitted a letter to ensure that they have to answer, the DOJ has to answer where this money is coming from and how it's being appointed. Because the thing is, the DOJ doesn't fund itself. We do. We pay for that. And Congress, face card for real. Congress appropriates that money to the DOJ. So that means that this fund that they are creating without congressional approval comes from previously appropriated congressional funds. So he wants to know, where the fuck did it come from? Because we obviously appropriated it for something. So how are you using it? So here we go.
My next source tonight is Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania, a Republican who has been outspoken about opposing this new fund. Congressman, do you agree with the acting attorney general there that this is how Americans want their taxpayer dollars to be spent?
I do not, Caitlin. Every dime that we spend ought to be going to, and especially with people in mind, over half of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck. That's got to be at the forefront of every single House and Senate member's mind with every dime that we appropriate. So for that and many...
Davey, my husband Biden, it's not my husband, but my husband Biden, he might be somewhere with his diaper out. No, because I made sure that I changed his diaper because he wanted to go on a bike ride. So he is a fresh one so that he can ride his bike. Can Donald Trump ride a bike? There it is. CNN fake news. Again, it's not about the news source. It's about the Republican representative talking about the anti-weaponization fund and how he has questions about where this money came from, and he wants those answers and how he's going to try and defund it.
Other reasons, I am completely objecting to this, and I'm going to do everything I can to fight it.
Did anything that Todd Blanche said about this fund in that interview with Paula reassure you?
No. So first and foremost, Caitlin, the executive branch does not have any money in its own right. Every dime they have is appropriated by Congress. So I sent a letter to Mr. Blanche today posing some very basic questions. He's got a June 1st deadline to get me the answers of where this money is coming from. Obviously, it was appropriated to DOJ as part of an appropriations bill, We want to know what account that money currently resides in. Where is he pulling it from? What authority they have to do this? We'll give them a chance to answer.
Those are valid questions. Money for the DOJ is congressionally approved. So which part of the appropriations are you pulling this funding from? Congress has the right to ask those questions.
But this is a debate that needs to be had and will be had, Caitlin, on the floor of the House, and it will be voted on. This is not a unilateral executive decision. If you're dealing with appropriated money, that's got to come through us.
What happens if the deputy or if the acting attorney general doesn't respond to your letter?
Well, there's
Who the fuck sneezed in the background of the filming? I don't know what that was.
going to be consequences. We need to unpack. The reason why we asked him questions is we need to unpack what the genesis of this funding is so that we know how to go about resolving this, right? I mean, depending on what that answer is going to depend on what we can do, because we're trying to figure out what our jurisdictional ability is under Article 1 authority and where Article 1 authority ends and Article 2 authority begins. But we need the answers to some basic questions, which is kind of the point of the problem here, is that we don't even know the answers to those questions. So we're going to get them, and if we don't, we'll deal with it either in this year's appropriations or in remedial legislation, which my team is working on right now.
He says that they are being transparent, that this is fake outrage because nothing has happened yet and the commissioners have not been named. Do you think that's why people are outraged about this fund?
Well, listen, anytime you come up with an idea, you got to socialize it with people that are decision makers, particularly in the legislative branch. And I think part of the problem is, we see these stories generally breaking out of the news media without, any kind of detail. Constituents get rightly concerned, and then we respond to our constituents' concern. That's our job, is to represent the people back home. I can tell you the people that I represent, very independent-minded people in Bucks and Montgomery counties in Pennsylvania. They want me to look into this, and I'm going to, and we're gonna fight hard against it. And I'm very
Mia for the hearts. I love that Caitlin Collins got them. We do love that. And Lala, her brows are great. Fucking her just
real quick before you hit play again. I'll share this for you. Federal panel approves President Trump's triumphal arc.
Shocker.
Yeah, I gotta go back down, but love you. I'll be in the comments.
Love you.
confident, Caitlin, we have the wherewithal on our team to break this down, to get to the root of and the genesis of where this funding is coming from, and we'll come up with a game plan.
Senator Bill Cassidy over in the Senate came out against this tonight, also criticizing it for similar reasons that you criticized it for, talking about, people can't afford gas right now or struggling to make ends meet, and this is what the DOJ is spending money on. You're the first Republican that I've seen that formally went to the...
Brandon Clark, welcome back. I'm glad to see you. We love a fan. Brandon Clark, would you please give me a source where Democrats or the government have spent hundreds of billions of dollars on illegal immigrants? Can you give me a source for that? Type it in the chat. I'll look it up.
The DOJ with your letter demanding answers from Todd Blanche. But are there other Republican lawmakers that you've spoken with who agree with you?
Well, I'm a lifelong FBI agent and federal prosecutor, and I'm going to take the lead on this, and I'm recruiting other colleagues of mine. I've spoken to several of them on the House floor. They want to see what we're putting together legislatively, and yes, there is quite a bit of interest on both sides of the aisle, quite frankly. They approached me on the House floor today.
If you could get something passed on this in the House and in the Senate, and that's an if, the president would have to sign it. And so what would you do then?
Well, the backstop, that's a great question. The backstop is always appropriations, we're in appropriation season now. We're going to have to pass a DOJ appropriations bill in short order. So we're going to factor that into how we approach that, right? I mean, these are, the brilliance of our founders is they set up a system of government where all three branches are independent constitutional checks on the other, and each have authorities that the other doesn't.
Well, Mia, they're just going to keep taking our money. They're just going to keep reappropriating money that they're not allowed to move around to pay for the shit for him to make him feel good because his penis is very small.
We're going to use our Article 1 authority to make sure that we are providing a check that the American people want us to do on things like this.
Yeah.
You know, these are taxpayer dollars. We have half of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Every dime we spend out of the federal treasury ought to be very mindful with those people in mind, right? And we have to have priorities. Budgets are a set of priorities of what's important. You know, a lot of times you have a lot of important things. You have to make tough choices. But that all factors into the analysis here.
You know, one thing that, I mean, even just as a member of Congress, as a Republican, as a person, that the administration won't rule out is just
Brandon Clark. U.S. House Committee and Homeland figures $450 billion annually spent on illegals. No. No. Who are they citing? Was that one FAIR or CIS? It was probably FAIR. Was that a testimony by FAIR in front of Congress where they said things without citing their sources and you just repeated it? Or do you have an actual government website with statistics to show where appropriated taxpayer funds went there? Or did you just cite FAIR or CIS? Brandon. Thank you for that guy doesn't exist. He doesn't exist, but he did send me a $10 super chat for love the channel. Keep up the good work, gamer. I'm a gamer sometimes, only on the weekends, but that's on Twitch. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Brandon, you have to have critical thinking when you read sources. I need you to do that.
saying that people who beat up cops that day, of which there are videos. I mean, the vice president yesterday was saying, well, maybe they didn't get a fair hearing or a fair court case. I mean, there's videos of the people who beat up the cops that you can watch that was used to convict them by a jury of their peers. Does it make sense to you why they won't just rule it out for the people who were literally beating up law enforcement?
No, it should be an easy question to answer. I don't know why they're having such difficulty answering it. I can answer it. Not a dime should go to them. Not a single dime.
Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, thank you for joining us tonight.
You bet. Thanks.
All right. So you have, and he's not the only one, you have Bill Cassidy and you have quite a lot of other Republicans who are going to be looking into this. So what they can do is they can try and stop it. And so we hope that they do. Because the problem is that the people who are going to be available to request this, and I'll show you them. CNN spoke to a couple of them. They're Jan 6ers. I'm so sorry for the rage you're about to feel.
The number I've put in is $30 million. $21.5 million is for the wrongful imprisonment.
People who took part in January 6 are hoping for big payouts.
We endured a lot. Our lives are still not the same. I don't know what kind of price you can put on that.
Some people are whining and saying it's not enough, and we're not even hearing numbers yet.
Fellows was sentenced on felony and misdemeanor charges for entering the Capitol on January 6. The charges against him were dismissed after a pardon from President Trump. Now Fellows expects compensation.
It's like surreal to me. I mean, look how angry I look.
Rachel Powell.
Yeah, dumb bitch. You shouldn't have been there.
A mom of 8 and a grandmother to 8, spent 3 years under house arrest.
I don't deserve this and my kids don't deserve it. Like, have we not been through enough?
She was released last year after being pardoned by Trump.
What do you say to people outraged and say people like you don't deserve a penny?
A lot of people don't agree with what happened on January 6th. But when you step back, my major felony had to be struck down by the Supreme Court. It's my crime that day of breaking a window. Technically, that's a misdemeanor charge. I had 3 years of house arrest, then having to endure everything I did through prison and getting a 5-year sentence on top of that. That's clearly weaponization.
Brandon Fellows still believes the lies about the 20.
Or you committed a fucking crime, bitch, and had to serve your time. Or that.
Still believes the lies about the 2020 election and even believes that January 6 was a setup.
But that's why I rationalize even violent people getting paid for that day. The government set it up, and also on top of that, they stole the election.
Are you thankful to the president?
Of course I'm thankful. If it wasn't for the president,
Also, by the way, I looked up whether her charge was struck down by SCOTUS. No, it wasn't. I'm not saying that, but I'll get into her charges in a minute.
I'd still be sitting in that prison.
Okay.
The only reason why you would have ever shown up in the prison is because you blindly believe a man who wanted to tell you that the election wasn't true, and you can't think logically. Like any single Trump supporter who thinks this is okay, I genuinely want you to talk to someone who has been actively persecuted the wrong way by law enforcement and or have had a mistrial where they have either gotten the death penalty and wasn't able to appeal it or got charged falsely for a crime they didn't commit. Fucking
I told you to breathe. I warned you guys. Audie, hi.
I'm going back to my Sydney.
Hi, sorry, I'm home alone, so yeah, party time. Okay. I don't do that stuff.
Party at Ari's.
Good luck getting here. It'll take y'all longer to get here than the party will last.
That's true.
Anyways, they're all just horrible people.
Yeah.
I like how he was like, they still believe the lies that he won the election. That was a good line.
So let's get into their charges. This is Pennsylvania woman sentenced on felony and misdemeanor charges for actions during January 6th Capitol breach. A Pennsylvania woman was sentenced today. Again, this is justice.gov, so these are actual charges, okay? Pennsylvania woman was sentenced today on 9 total felony and misdemeanor charges for her actions during the breach of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Rachel Marie Powell, 43 of Sandy Lake, Pennsylvania, was sentenced to 57 months, that's about 5 years, that's a little less, in prison and 36 months of supervised release by the judge. Also ordered Powell to pay more than $8,000 in restitution, fines, and fees. Oh no, she had to do her time, and then oh no, house arrest with her family, and oh no, restitution, except Donald Trump wiped that off of the board. Powell was found guilty on July 18th following a bench trial before Judge Lamberth of civil disorder, obstruction of an official proceeding, and aiding and abetting, entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon, engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon, destruction of government property, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, act of physical violence in the Capitol grounds or buildings, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. Now, according to court documents and evidence presented during the trial, Powell was one of the first rioters to break through onto Capitol grounds near the Peace Circle. You saw her go through that window. At the West Plaza, Powell pushed against barricades and encouraged other rioters to attack the police line. After the West Plaza was breached, Powell climbed up to the lower West Terrace and eventually entered the Capitol itself through a broken window. Powell later used an ice axe and a battering ram to break through a different window and breach the Capitol at a different location, encouraging other rioters to enter the Capitol. After the riot, instead of remorse, Powell continued to call for political violence. She will be allowed to apply for this fund. Are you guys okay with that? She was pardoned by Donald Trump. Are you okay with that?
Oh, mercy. Why do people suck? Why are people crazy, actually, is the more relevant question, I feel like.
Powell is seen in multiple videos and photographs using the bullhorn, she's been called like bullhorn lady, to further instruct others on how to gain control of the Capitol. One video of Powell depicts a group of individuals inside a room of the Capitol discussing how to penetrate the building further. One individual is heard asking, "What's the floor plan?" Another shouts, "We just need a plan. We need enough people. We need to push forward." Shortly after, Powell is clearly seen speaking through the bullhorn and giving very detailed instructions about the layout of the building to others in the room. Powell can be heard stating that she had just been inside an adjacent room and that they should, quote, coordinate together if you're going to take this building. Powell also notes that they, quote, have another window to break.
That's insane.
She was pardoned. Oh, lovely. On January 7th, she posted on social media, "We have given you all a chance to help us settle this peacefully. We have been patient. The time is up." Sounds like she went through so much, her and her family. On January 7th, Powell also wrote, "It was fucking war to get in. If you were not here, then shut the fuck up." Also, quote, "There were lots of security. They had to retreat into the building and fight back because patriots were relentless." And in another, she said, "They didn't open the gates. The people trampled them. It was war."
So, never mind. I'm gonna get more me.
They're like, the internet exists. Unfortunately, the internet is mostly forever. And
ma'am, your indictment and all your charges that you were found guilty of are there. I
But
don't.
she had such a hard time. It's been so hard for her and her family.
Yeah, that you gotta stay at home and stay with them like that. That must have been so difficult.
Yeah, so the police didn't let them in. That's a great point. Let's go into the next guy's charges that they
How
interviewed.
come I get in trouble for hitting people with a broom, but I accidentally just started sweeping?
You know, I guess. We're gonna go into the justice.gov portion first because it only is gives you like a small portion of what he did. So Brandon Craig Fellows, 29, of Schenectady, New York, was sentenced by U.S. District Judge McFadden to 37 months in prison, plus an additional 5 months for a contempt of court charge. In total, Fellows was sentenced to 42 months. A jury convicted Fellows on August 31st, 2023 of obstruction of an official proceeding, a felony, and misdemeanor offenses of entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, entering or remaining in certain rooms in the Capitol building, and disorderly conduct in a Capitol building. According to court documents, on January 6, 2021, Fellows arrived at the Ellipse near the National Mall. Remember, that is where they had a permit to be, is the Ellipse near the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to attend the Stop the Steal rally and listen to the former president's speech. After the rally, Fellows marched with a large crowd toward the Capitol building. Fellows approached the Capitol by the west side and made his way to the Upper West Terrace. From his position as he surveyed the thousands of rioters on the West Plaza and the West Lawn, Fellows proclaimed on a video recording made on his cell phone, quote, "Oh, bro, we're going to get gassed soon. I heard windows just break." Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Paris. Fellows then moved toward Northwest Courtyard near the Parliamentarian door and Senate Wing door, arriving at a time when police had temporarily secured the Senate Wing door. Here, the mob of rioters continued to gather outside both doors. Fellows remained with the mob for several minutes, recording the chaos from outside the Parliamentarian door and narrating it for his audience. In one recording, Fellows exclaimed, "We're at the main fucking gates. They're banging at it like a fucking battering ram. It's fucking crazy." Fellows also recorded another rioter ramming the Parliamentarian door with a cane, attempting to force it open. In the recording, Fellows overlaid the video with the message, "We are coming for you, traitors." When the rioters finally broke the door open, Fellows celebrating, yelling, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, holy shit, bro." Fellows entered the Capitol building via a broken window at about 2:52 p.m. and paraded through the Senate Wing door holding a Trump 2020 flag. Once inside, Fellows stood on top of broken furniture and waved the flag. Fellows then briefly entered a congressional conference room, then walked across the hall to the private office of the U.S. Senator from Oregon. While inside the office, Fellows sat in a chair, put his feet up on a conference table, and smoked marijuana. Another rioter who was live streaming asked Fellows, "What is your message?" And Fellows replied, "Man, oh man, we got pissed. We ripped it out of the hands of these police officers," followed by an eruption of laughter. He did quite a bit, just not as violent. But after leaving the senator's office, Fellows joined other rioters in the crypt, where he walked around the room and exited the same way he came. On his way out, Fellows heckled 2 U.S. Capitol police officers. After exiting the building, Fellows almost immediately gave an interview to a news network, which was reporting from the Upper West Terrace. He was excited and animated during the interview, describing the actions of other rioters as breaking in and referring to his own marijuana use inside his Senate office, stating there's just a whole bunch of people lighting up in some Oregon room. Fellows then climbed atop a U.S. Capitol Police motorcycle that was parked on the Upper West Terrace. In the days following, Fellows took to social media to describe his exploits. In one post, he wrote, "Brought my heart joy to see members terrified for their lives. For what they have done and are doing to this country, I hope they live in constant fear." He sounds really remorseful.
It sounds like so great.
Mm-hmm.
But we're called domestic terrorists because. Never mind.
He's asking for $30 million because of this. Which then I have another article in response to him. So that's him. That was him at the Capitol. This is him on top of that motorcycle that they just talked about. A video featuring a pardoned January 6th defendant from Schenectady is going viral online. He was dressed in an ice jacket and a Make America Great Again hat. This was at CPAC. And made jokes about scaring undocumented immigrants. Of course, he doesn't work for ICE, whatever. He was found guilty and sentenced to 42 months for his role in January 6th. And Donald Trump, again, pardoned all 1,500 of them. Without looking at case-by-case basis, he pardoned all 1,500. And now they have the right to sue us, and we have to pay them money.
No way.
For
Yeah, y'all will-
attacking our Capitol.
But they don't want to feed fellow American citizens who are starving right now.
No, but they want to pay for that. Okay. In this same section, we are going to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump was asked about it because people are critical about it. You used this case where you were suing yourself to now create a fund for potentially violent criminals, and people are being critical of that. What's your take, sir? Thank you guys for hitting 100,000 likes over here on TikTok. I'm so very proud of you. Thank you guys so much. We have 20 minutes left, so let's see how much we can knock out before we get to there. Thank you guys so much for completing my goal. I do appreciate it, but any extra donations are also appreciated because this is my job and a bitch got bills to pay. Guys, I still have we have not got past the 1 coin goals today. I still have my little press starts that we need to finish. I don't know what we're doing, but we need to finish that over there. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you have not already. So let's get to what Donald Trump says about the fact that people are critical of what the fuck he's doing with this fund.
Mr. President, your response to people that are critical of your settlement over your IRS case about the tax now that you can't be prosecuted for tax?
Yeah, well, what happened is I was suing IRS for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons is they released my tax returns, which they're not allowed to do. Now, they showed I pay a lot of tax. I may even release my current returns because they show I pay a lot of money. But they're not supposed to do that. They were in lockboxes as president.
Now, again, I agree. I've said this multiple days this week. I've said it before when we've talked about it. Donald Trump said he'd release his tax returns in his first term. And then he said, I can't because I'm being audited. Whether that was true or whether he was lying to us, we will never know because somebody took it upon themselves within the IRS to release his tax returns illegally. I do not think that should have happened. I absolutely believe that you are a fucking criminal for doing that. And guess what? They are in prison where they need to be for releasing his tax returns without his permission. Those should not have been leaked. That should not have happened. We could have chastised him for not releasing him, but that was on us to do, not for somebody else to illegally release them. I'm totally fine with that. But again, this turned into a fund now that people who violently attacked our Capitol will be able to apply to.
They released them. And a certain firm released them, which was, I guess, a private firm, but it released them to a lot of the fake news, and the fake news went, and you're just not allowed to do that. And many other things happened. So I released them from the lawsuit, and I guess they made a settlement of some kind. I wasn't involved in the settlement. I could have been involved, but I didn't choose to be. So they made a settlement.
How are you not involved in a settlement on a lawsuit that you're letting your lawyers go crazy?
That isn't. Can you send me this one too?
Yeah.
This is what. Okay. If you release them from the lawsuit, that means you dismissed it and a settlement wouldn't be required.
Right. And again, the fund itself is not even listed in the settlement documents. But what do you mean you're not a part of it?
'Cause he flew over it, of course.
What are we talking about? Dad's here. Hi, Dad.
Oh.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. Just eating some lunch. I just want to come up. I watched Heather Cox Richardson's political chat yesterday, and she kind of went over all this stuff. The lawsuit was dropped before the judge had a chance to dismiss it.
Yeah.
Because the judge had already told him that he didn't see that there's anything that Trump had standing to sue for, because you cannot sue the government for the actions of a contractor who was the person who had released the files.
Right.
That's not necessarily true, because there is previous precedent where they have sued successfully the IRS, but they took a zero monetary gain from it. So they took $0.
Yeah, they wanted an apology.
Yeah.
So that's technically not true. There is already an existing line where people could sue the government for the work of a contractor. So that tickled my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, but with the settlement, even people asked the judge about it. He's like, well, it was a she. It's like, I see no settlement language. There's no settlement because there was no lawsuit. So this was just a deal by the the assistant attorney general, technically, who was also one of Trump's former lawyers.
Yeah, he's just
Signed
acting
on by
attorney
the
general.
attorney general, who was one of Trump's former lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
with the Trump organization, who is Trump's lawyers.
I mean,
So all of this is the biggest bit of corruption in government history.
It's a
in this
smash and
country.
grab. It's a giant smash and grab.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's huge what they're doing. Not in a good way. It's just not. It's an ugly look, and the people that support this are absolutely insane. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the judge unfortunately can't do anything about it because they already filed for a dismissal, and judges can't typically override settlements between private parties. And what the judge mostly had questioned is what is your ability to be objective considering you work for the president? Like, can you be a private agent when you used to be the president's attorney and the president is suing his own government that you work for?
Yeah, that's the briefs that were supposed to be presented tomorrow in front of the judge
Yesterday.
for this. Or I forget. I always forget what day it is.
It's all good.
This is ridiculous. But yeah, those were the arguments supposed to be presented. And instead of going and trying to explain themselves, they said, "Nope, we'll just drop it and then do this under the table garbage." That
For $1,776,000,000. Like,
yes,
We love that. Well, thank you, Dad, for coming up and adding some context. We appreciate it.
my pleasure. It's always great to see you, ladies. Carry on.
Bye. Brandon Clark, I really want to hold your hand. I really do, but I'm not gonna. You said you'd vote for Trump in 2028, so you hate the Constitution? You just don't like it? Okay, cool.
And also the anti-weaponization of people. I mean, people were destroyed. They went to jail. Their families were ruined. They committed suicide. You know, all the Biden administration.
What? Even if they did, they committed crimes.
I'd have to look this up, but the only people that I knew that committed suicide were some of the federal police or the Capitol Police officers.
Right. Are they going to get compensation from this anti-weaponization fund? Which, by the way, this is a weird segue, but I was thinking about it last night. I was watching on Netflix the Dick Wolf, what is it? Murder in New York or whatever Netflix show he has on there. The last episode of season 3 was about the detectives that we've seen throughout the entire season dealing with 9/11. So I got to be re-traumatized all over again. Love that for me. Anyway, talking about 9/11, there are still first responders trying to get paid from the compensation fund from 9/11.
Yep. And a lot of them are being denied by this administration.
But we want to pay January 6ers.
Duh.
Because they risked their lives, Monty. What do you mean?
I have a
They
Biden
did so much.
tattoo. I didn't know.
They did so much.
Is that Joe
You
Biden?
have a Biden tattoo?
Is that Joe Biden?
No, it's your dad.
That's my dad. My dad's not Joe Biden. My dad's in the ground. He also served this country.
Monica!
He is! He's in the ground. What? We put him there. I didn't physically, he was alive and then he died and then we put him there.
I love you so much.
My dad would have thought it was funny.
You know what? I use that argument sometimes and then people laugh at me still.
He would have thought it was funny.
And the Obama administration, both of them. I mean, the Obama administration started it. The Biden administration was horrible in terms of what they've done to people is incredible. And we're reimbursing those people for their legal fees and for their costs and for anybody involved. But they destroyed people. People committing, I read the other day, a person committed suicide over it. They went, it was the most violent.
You know what I read the other day? I read the other day that one of the Jan 6ers that you pardoned went on to rape 2 middle school children and then told them to stay quiet because he would pay them off. He has money coming to him. That's what I read. And actually, I showed it. I showed it on the show. That's what I saw. But that guy's going to be able to apply for the fund. So.
That's why he got money coming.
Violent thing I've ever seen in politics, what they did. And yet if I say, let's look at this one or that one, they say weaponization. What they did in terms of weaponization.
By the way, can you see how bad this bald spot's getting?
I can. It's like brighter than my future.
It's getting really bad.
Will never be allowed to happen in this country.
I fixed it, Mia. Fickleus, I actually showed. God, joy for fucking aliens. I can't with this. But I showed the Trump phone the other day. Hi, friends. How are you?
Oh, good. It's just interesting because I actually get to see you. I'm at home, so I'm watching you on the TV instead of my phone. And when I watch you on my phone, your face is covered by all the comments. So it's just kind of
Yeah,
neat to see
I
you.
know.
So just let you know. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Appreciate it, friend.
Bye, friend.
Let him ramble.
So real quick, if you check live chat, the Tony, the guy who was supposed to be executed today in Tennessee,
Tony
his
Carruthers.
thank you for pronouncing his last name. I couldn't do it and I was scared. His execution got postponed because they could not find the vein to put the lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mix.
Sorry, it smells like pine sol.
Make a mess
For the concoction.
Yeah. Okay.
Look,
So yeah.
mine's not-
So hopefully
Fine.
their lawyers are going to be able to put in for stays on that. Like Blue talked about in the live chat, I was reading about it. If the death warrant expires, they'll have to pull out a new one. It will not be very hard for them to pull out a new one, but it does give them a little bit of time. So there's that.
There's still the thing you can sign in my link tree if you guys want to check that out. To
I signed it
you know,
yesterday.
Same.
I'm hoping they hit the number that they needed by then. So we'll let Trump ramble on, and then we're going to get into Mike Johnson, because, you know, Mike Johnson's surely going to know more about this than Trump didn't know.
Again. So we think that those people, we think that anybody involved in that process should partake. And you're talking about peanuts compared to the value. It destroyed the lives of many, many people. Thank you very much.
Or it destroyed the lives of the police officers who are no longer with us anymore because of that. So let's get to Mike Johnson, because surely he is going to know more about this fund, being Speaker of the House and all, being third in line for the presidency and all.
Money.
Would you be okay if January 6 rioters, the ones who were convicted, even some of the ones who attacked the police, had access to this taxpayer dollars of this $1.8 billion of settlement that the DOJ has created, the settlement fund? Would you be okay if they had access to that?
We don't know any of the details of that settlement fund. The acting Attorney General Todd Blanche testified yesterday, and he gave a lot of detail. And I'll just defer to what he said because he obviously knows a lot more about it than I do. He said, "Let me tell you what he said." He said they are setting up a fund to compensate all Americans who have been the subject, target of lawfare or weaponization of the federal government. Again, that's not a partisan proposition either. Everybody should support that. He did not say who will be eligible. There's many details to be filled
He literally said, like, everybody, including Hunter Biden, he said.
out on that, and I'm not going to comment on it until that. I'm not going to comment on that until it comes out. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Not going to comment on it until it comes out. Yeah, I think everybody should apply. I think let's just fucking funnel
Look,
it.
I said if you're mistreated by the government, we'll test it out. I'll see what happens, and then we'll do cuts. You know.
Okay.
I mean, for as many people that tell us that they're reporting us to the FBI or some bullshit, that feels like weaponization if they try to do anything. And if I have to hire an attorney, I will immediately appeal. Like,
This is when I sit and think if I try to apply, how many lists am I going to find myself on?
How many am I already on? It's fine. I don't give a fuck.
that's probably the more accurate question. How many am I already on? You know, I actually don't think I'm on any.
So this is Jared Moskowitz, and he is going to be talking to a person. Her last name is Swain. I tried to look up. I'm not seeing what her official position is. She is some sort of doctor who's written some books, but he's asking her about whether neo-Nazis are white supremacists or not. And it takes her a little bit to initially answer, and then she does. And then she tries to promote her book. Because again, we're talking about groups, like people who showed up were just dumb and showed up. And people who participated were also dumb and did these things. There were people who organized this, and we knew this. By the way, those people were also pardoned. People like Joseph Biggs, okay, who was a part of, he was not with Proud Boys because that was Enrico Tarria. By the way, Enrico Tarria also has filed for compensation from this fund. Just read that this morning. Yay! For like $2 to $5 million. But you have Joseph Biggs, found through Discord messages to have been organizing this attack on the Capitol, which is why he got put into what he got put. His sentence was what he got. Those people are part of white supremacist groups, okay? You have the Oath, was he Oath Keepers? Maybe he was Oath Keepers. You have Oath Keepers, you have Proud Boys, you've got 3 Percenters, KKK, the list goes on and on and on and on.
I'm curious about one thing real quick. How are they applying already to a fund that doesn't yet exist?
Michael Caputo was the first person to write a letter towards the DOJ. They're just like writing letters to Todd Blanche.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, how do you apply for something that has no formal application? I'm writing to you to express my deep interest. I know you're not looking for a boyfriend, but please put me in the loop as consideration. That's what that feels like.
Right.
It sounds
Put me in,
like a
coach.
love letter.
Does it have to be a letter? It can be an email.
Sure.
They don't know how to use technology.
They don't know.
I'm saying for myself, Ari.
Okay, but I'm saying they don't know how to use technology unless it's for a specific kind of gross material that no one should be involved in.
That's true.
So Jared
Sorry, I
Moskowitz
made
is
that
going
up.
to ask her, are they white supremacists? Are neo-Nazis white supremacists? Why this is a hard question to answer? I don't know.
Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
It depends on which ones. They're individuals.
No, I didn't ask you which ones.
Some of them are plain old
neo-Nazi. Miss Swan, listen, I'm not reading your book if you literally can't answer this question. Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
They're individuals. Some are, and some may be just plain old anti-Semites.
No. Neo-Nazis are anti-Semites, okay? We're going to agree there.
Right, okay.
But they're also supremacists, Miss Swan.
Okay, if you are...
Because why are they anti-Semitic? Could it be because they believe that their race is supreme over the Jewish people?
I'm more disturbed that why are we ignoring history, and then why are we what would she classify the Triple K as, I wonder?
It's wild.
No. You don't have to take my word for it. Right, like they are. That's the whole reason they exist.
But you
because
all don't
they believe they are supreme.
You all don't seem to understand that a white
Who's they all?
supremacist
I'm not a
until
neo-Nazi. Who's they all? I'm a regular person asking another regular person if we can agree that neo-Nazis are supremacists.
I will agree with you.
Okay, I don't want you to be forced into it.
I would agree with you, but I suggest you all take the time and read my Cambridge University Press book
Listen,
that was nominated for a
Miss Swan,
Pulitzer Prize.
listen, Dr. Swan, I can promise you, there's no freaking way I'm buying your book. When it took 2 minutes for you to look at me and had to convince you that neo-Nazi, listen.
Because I don't like the talking points. The leftist.
This is not a talk.
Oh God.
It's a leftist talking point to call the neo-Nazis supremacists.
They are so. What is I don't understand. Okay.
Talking point. This is 100 years of history. Watch this. I'm going
Oh, if you guys love him, you're going to love my next one.
to show you how easy it is. Mr. Perkins, are neo-Nazis supremacists?
They are supremacists.
Thank you, sir. Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Swan, that wasn't a trick question for them. I wasn't trying to trip them up. I wasn't using DNC talking points. This is part of the problem. And I
That's funny. Moves on to the next person who's up there with her. By the way, are they supremacists? Yes. Are they supremacists? Yes.
They've been doing that a lot lately with their panels they've had in front of Congress, and I love it so much. But if you guys loved Moskowitz, you're going to love his buddy.
Woo! Proud Boys are freaking white supremacists. Neo-Nazis are too. And this president, who loves to coddle white supremacists has decided that they should be given checks. The reasons that I pointed to those particular organizations is because you can go and read, I don't know how many articles, as Dr. Swain wants people to read up. I'm gonna be clear, I've read my fair share of books. I do have my fair share of degrees. It is clear that neo-Nazis as well as Proud Boys joined in on January 6th. Yet this slush fund that they keep talking about is specifically to give them money. So how dare this majority sit here and try to lecture this organization about money? Now, we're not talking about tax-paying dollars as we are in that slush fund. But you're telling me that $2 billion in the same country that I'm sure some of y'all would struggle with whether or not the enslavement of Black people was good or bad. I'm not even gonna go there and ask y'all the question because y'all struggle with defining that these people were white supremacists. But this country still hasn't thought that reparations made sense for Black folk in this country. But at the same time, they've decided that people that are in organizations that are absolutely white supremacy organizations should get our tax dollars because they decided to tear apart or attempt to tear apart our democracy. They are being rewarded.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I had a semi-random thought. Okay. Why is it that and sorry, I'm going to derail for a second and I apologize so much. But why is it that when we talk to Trump voters, right? And they're being shitty people, why do we have to remain, according to a good portion of our viewers, why do we have to remain above board? Why can't we ever be mean to them? Why do we have to continue to be nice and just sit back and hear the same disgusting rhetoric day in and day out? I'm just genuinely curious why the peanut gallery thinks that we have to do that.
Hi, friend.
And I
How
don't
are
mean
you?
Oh, good. Amy Box just got sentenced to 41.5 years.
Oh, she got her sentencing?
Yeah, 41.5 years. She just got sentenced 5 minutes ago, so I just let you know.
Love that. Because she committed fraud, and we don't like that.
No, huh? No, I'm glad. Well, Jesus, it's all Somalis. My ass. She got 41 years. What the hell?
Right, exactly. Thank you for
So-
updating us on that.
Bye-bye.
We're definitely going to look into that for tomorrow, as they're all, by the way, yelling about Ilhan Omar in the YouTube chat.
Oh, God.
Crazy. No, but Ari, I mean, that's one of the things that is really interesting, and conversations around it. I think honestly it depends on the type of topic you're trying to have with them too. I think there's limits, but I don't think if someone's going to continue, you don't have to play nice when they start being mean.
Well, no, it's a couple comments on my video from that I just posted this morning of a woman that said that she literally supported the unalivement of all Muslims and supports a MASSGENOCIDE. So why do I have to be nice to somebody that wants to see the unalivement of an entire group of people?
Because they were sold that the tolerant left meant that we were going to put up with their hatred and their disgusting views. And we are supposed to be okay and forgiving for whatever they say. So we are supposed to be okay with sharing grocery stores and, neighborhoods with neo-schmazis and shit like that. We're supposed to be okay because they were told that we are the tolerant left, but we're also stupid, but we also believe anything. So these are the things that they are sold. It's just that we're not tolerant of intolerance, but they don't get that.
Hi, Davo.
What up, y'all?
What's up?
Yeah, so just kind of through the studies and everything, kind of actually to piggyback off of what Mia said. So the whole notion of they go low, we go high is kind of what they're banking on a lot of things, because they're also trying to they're trying to engage in reactionary politics. they know for a fact that like what they're saying is some of the most atrocious and most disgusting things. But whenever you react to whatever they're saying, then all of a sudden you are the one who is no longer in control of the debate. You're being overly emotional. You're being ad hom. You're being, this, that, and the third. So it's just kind of like they want you to react. They want you to do that so that way they can just piggyback off of just. It's actually
They feel
why
like they
whenever I'm on
win.
yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
stay as calm as I do. I know it's not necessary. I'm not saying everybody has to react that way. React as much as you want to. But it's the reason I do. Because I like, see, I won because I made you mad.
Yeah.
And of course, like, I 90% of the time stay extremely calm and don't give a fuck about what most people say. But there are some points where it's like, you know what? It feels good to yell at somebody. Like, they're dumb motherfuckers and they deserve to hear it. Like,
You bring up SNAP and welfare, I will crash out.
If
100%.
If anyone
Yes.
remembers how I debate and everything else like that, like you'll typically see me go off and like name like every single bit of like the actual like knowledge. Shit, somebody's here. You'll see me like go down like the actual bits of like, here's where the source is. This is what's going on. This is what the result of this is. And then at the very end of it, I'll call him like a fucking idiot. And then if you notice, every single time I do that, that's all they want to focus in on is just, hey, no, you called me this name. You're a bad person. You bad person called me this name.
Oh, they do that to me all the time when I remain calm and I'm just like digging in on something, and they'll be like, "You're so condescending." I'm like, "Please explain to me how," or "You're this." Okay, let's go into it. Or if I don't listen to that, and I'll be like, "So do you want to get back to a political point or no?" And they just keep going. But I love the ones where like they'll say like, "Oh, why are you so nasty?" or "You're so mean," and then I do give them like that breath, and I keep going, and I'm like, "Okay, can you be specific on what I said?" or like, "You're a liar," blah blah blah. And I still love the one where the guy's like, "Can we just get back to politics?" I'm like, "Why? You brought this up. Obviously, it's important to you. Let's continue to talk about what you think I do wrong." Can you be like, there are just some points like I get it. Yeah, 90% of the time I keep my cool, but I don't have to do it all the time. And then those are the comments on the videos that are, the one video where I pop off, but they don't comment on the videos where I remain calm. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I see you.
Okay, before we get out of here, I would like to play one last video in that section. As I showed you, Representative Fitzpatrick has a lot of fucking questions about this. But you also have Senator Tillis, who uses the word tyranny in regards to explaining this anti-weaponization fund. So we're going to play that. And then we'll start getting ready to get out of here, guys. Find me somebody to raid.
I think it's stupid on stilts.
Why?
Because it will invariably put us in a position where your taxpayer dollars and my taxpayer dollars could potentially compensate someone who assaulted a police officer, admitted their guilt, got convicted, got pardoned, and now we're going to pay them for that? That's absurd. The American people are going to reject this out of hand. When you take money from me to give to a purpose that I vehemently disagree with, that's tyranny, and that's what that account is. I think it's stupid on stilts.
Stupid on stilts.
Yes, please cancel a black woman, please.
Who?
No, please use your white male privilege so you can cancel a black woman. Please.
Davo trying
Let's do this.
He's trying to get it.
I will just point out, like, Tom Tillis, I wish you'd found your backbone before you said I'm not campaigning again. Like,
It's the same thing as Bill Cassidy. It's the same thing.
I know.
Bill Cassidy's doing it now.
I mean, good. They should, but don't do it. Like, at least Tom Tillis isn't doing it as a type of retro, like watch how you like me now kind of shit, like Bill Cassidy is going to be doing it. Tom Tillis was like, I'm speaking out against the president. Oh, he doesn't like that? Cool. I'll just not campaign again. It's not worth my trouble, and I'll continue to do what I've been doing.
That's true. Let's raid Lainey, because we raided Joey yesterday. And you know me, I don't like raiding men. Ugh. So
We did decenter him by technically just being there for Izzy.
Money's live is crazy. I am live right now. That's true. Wait. Why wait.
I
It's
couldn't find my sign that said Davo's actually 4-2.
Oh, we will cover Amy Bach tomorrow. I'm sure that'll make them nice and mad, and they're going to go off about Ilhan Omar, and I'm going to ask them to prove that she's done any fraud, and I'm sure that they definitely will do that. But also, I've had a video in the chamber that I haven't shown, which is Fox News did an entire segment with Amy Bach, where Amy Bach talks about Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar knew about this, as in trying to implicate them. And Fox News is so desperate to try and sell this. But when you listen to her say it, they ask, like, okay, so Tim Walz knew about this. And she's like, of course he knew. He was investigating me, so of course he knew.
That's hilarious.
That's not him being involved. That's him investigating you doing a crime.
You know what that sounds like? Communism is very terrible because of embargoes.
Oh my god.
Communism is bad because of United States embargoes. Look how bad communism is. And you're like, wait, you just
Wait. I will say this. I have found the new comments in my video, like the new line, and this is coming from Crunchy Leftist, is that when you are saying, we're saying communism doesn't exist when somebody's like, this is a communist state, or that it's been implemented incorrectly, or whatever phrasing we use, now it's a no true Scotsman fallacy. As long as you are not, that's my whole thing. And then somebody was like, you just did a no true Scotsman fallacy. I'm like, please point to me where I moved the goalpost. And like, listen, I actually commented. I was like, just go back and listen. Tell me where I moved the goalpost. And I changed what I said. It was like, well, you didn't move the goalpost. Great, fantastic. Then it's not a no true Scotsman. What I did was I went into the specific definition of what communism is about. And I quoted Karl Marx. That is not a no true Scotsman fallacy. Please learn. And then he's like, well, you didn't move the goalpost, but you did this, Mike. So I didn't pull a no true Scotsman. Please relearn your fallacies.
That's why I don't talk to them. That's fine. That's why I don't talk to them. Okay.
I rarely do. This one was actually a friendly that tried to pull that bullshit. And I was like, it's cool.
shocked.
No problem, bro.
Twitch and YouTube, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the jewels over there on YouTube today and the super chat that I did receive. I appreciate you guys over on Twitch. I love you so much having your comm space. I see though that our usual op in the Twitch chat came in again. That's always fun. But I will see you guys tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you.